Hi, I'm Kaylee, and I have been buried under a massive bunch of books. Okay, we just need to scoot these to the side there for a minute so that you can actually see me on camera. Hello there. All right, don't worry, we'll get to these in a minute. In case you couldn't tell, we have a book haul today. Oh boy, a pretty massive book haul. I have not even counted yet how many books I have here. My local library just had a library book sale, and they really made it a sale. They lowered their prices, and it was only 25 cents for a book. Every book, it didn't matter if it was hardback or paperback or what it was, 25 cents for everything. And I went a little crazy. I was just grabbing things left and right. I was barely even looking at what I was grabbing. I was like, sure, that one. Yep, okay, that one. Oh, I sort of recognize that author's name. Not really sure, just grab it. And I'm not really even sure what I have over here. It was a few days ago, and then these have just been sitting in the bags, and I haven't really had time to go through them yet. I don't even know what I got over here. I don't even know what is in these piles, okay? So we're just gonna dive on in and see, in my moment of madness, what did I grab? What did I buy? Not even sure. Okay, first of all, I just need to count all of these. So let's grab a pile here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. It looks like 52. Okay, we have 52 books. They were only 25 cents each. Let's dive in and just see, what do we got? Okay, I think I have it divided into some groups here. So our first group is going to be classics, because I know that's all you guys care about. Okay, we have The Good Soldier by Maddox. A Tale of Passion, it says. I grabbed this and now I stop and think about it and I realize I might already own this. Wait a minute, let's look on the shelves. Okay, well, I don't see it on this shelf, but I think I might have it on a shelf upstairs in a different edition. Oh, well, that's okay. It was only 25 cents. Then we have the Portable Bernard Shaw. I really do enjoy Pygmalion, but I haven't really read very much else from George Bernard Shaw. It might be interesting to read some more from George Bernard Shaw. Then we have As We Were by Ef Benson. I know nothing about this. I've never heard of this author before, but it looked kind of classic-y, so I just grabbed it. The author unfolds the extreme oddities of his own family and their dazzling social circle in Victorian and Edwardian England. So that definitely looks interesting. A little snippet of history, maybe. Then we have The Comedies of William Congreve. This is a Penguin classic. I've never heard of this before. I have no idea what this is. A master of the comedy of manners, Congreve was the most elegant of the Restoration dramatists. Okay, I don't know. Are these plays? Oh, okay, it is. Yes, these are plays. Okay. So we have The Old Bachelor, The Double Dealer, Love for Love, and The Way of the World. Never heard of any of those before. This is from 1670, 1729. I guess I'm gonna be reading a lot of plays. Then we have a biography of George Eliot. I love so many of her books. It takes a little while to sort of get used to her style, but it is well worth it. She definitely writes very heavy, very dense stories, but once you put in the effort, and it's worth it. It really is. So I realized I really don't know very much about her actual life, you know, so this will be very interesting to dive into and learn more about the author. Then we have Death in Venice and Other Stories by Thomas Mann. I don't super love Thomas Mann. I think I've had to read some of his short stories like in college or something probably, and was just kind of like, but I'm willing to give it another try. Sure, let's give it another go. So these are collections of short stories, it looks like. Then we have Stories from Shakespeare. So these are just the complete plays of Shakespeare, it says, vividly retold for readers of all ages. This is kind of falling apart a little bit. Oh dear. Oh my gosh. It's falling apart. Help. Oh no. I need to get out some glue or something and glue this baby back together. Then I grabbed this lovely Oxford Shakespeare edition of Measure for Measure. This is not particularly one of my favorite plays, but I don't think I own this one other than in my big, huge, complete Shakespeare, which I don't actually read from because it's too huge. It's just too big. Okay, so I do actually already own Measure for Measure in this bind up together. This is Measure for Measure, All's Well That Ends Well, and Troilus and Cressida together. So I already did have this one, but now I've got just Measure for Measure by itself. Is it ridiculous to own multiple copies of Shakespeare's plays when this isn't even my favorite? This isn't even my favorite Shakespeare. It's just, I don't know. I was just grabbing stuff right and left, guys. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking. I just grabbed things. Okay. And then I also picked up a biography of Mary Wollstonecraft. She's not one of my favorite authors, but I would be very interested to know more about her. She was like the original goth, She basically invented the whole genre of sci-fi. This would definitely be interesting to dive into. And you never know, maybe I would discover more of her works other than just Frankenstein and grow to like her and her works a little bit more. Okay, those are our classics. Let's set those aside. And now I've got some kind of like children's classics or children's modern classics, kind of, I don't know, something. So we have The Wolves of Willoughby Chase, and I already own this, and I've read it several times, and I really, really love it. However, this is a nicer edition than the one that I have. The one that I have is pretty old and beat up. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just grab this one instead. Then we have The Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. This is a Newbery Award winner. I think I read this a long, long time ago when I was a teenager, but I have not read it as an adult, and I don't think I own it. No, I don't think I do, so maybe it's time for a reread. Then we have Water Sky by Jean Craighead George. I have read other books by this author and really loved it, but I've never read this one. Something about Eskimos and a whaling captain or something like that. This looks really, really, really cool. Looks like it'll be a really interesting adventure. So when I was a kid, like many young girls, I was obsessed with horses. I never learned to ride a horse or anything, but I just loved to read books about horses. And one of those was the series by Marguerite Henry. But I don't think I read this one. This one is King of the Wind. It might be pretty fun. I don't know. We shall see. Then we have Music of the Dolphins by Karen Hess. Let's see. She was raised by dolphins from the age of 4. What? So she was rescued off of an unpopulated island where she had been raised by dolphins. And this is just, that sounds completely insane. Wow. Okay then. Well, apparently it has to do with music because it says that the people who rescue her, then they teach her language and music. And so she finds out what it means to be human, but she deeply longs for her ocean home. Okay, this is like some Little Mermaid stuff going on here. That sounds pretty cool. Then we have Habibi. This is by Naomi Shihab Nye. I have no idea what this is about. Her family moves from St. Louis all the way to Palestine, and Liana knows very little about her family's Arab heritage. Can she ever learn to call this place home? Oh, that sounds so good. I love stories about culture shock and just learning a new culture because that was so much a part of my childhood. So this sounds really, really interesting. That's gonna be right up my alley. Then let's see, we have The Other Shepherds. Let's see, their 3 siblings were tragically killed in a car accident 20 years earlier, and an artist arrives to paint a mural in their home. What in the world? I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, well, interesting. So they're living with ghosts, it says. The Other Shepherds, living with ghosts. That sounds a little bit creepy. I'm not sure if the ghosts are real ghosts or it's just like their tragic past or something, but interesting. Okay, we shall see. And this one I picked up just because it's a Puffin book. This is Queenie Peavy by Robert Birch. She's the worst troublemaker at school and the best shot in Georgia. Well, this looks like it could be fun. Oh boy. Okay, so those are the children's classics, Newbery Award winners and stuff like that. Modern classics, I guess you could say. This next, oh dear, stuff is falling down. Oh my gosh, a little tiny piece of the cover just came off. Oh boy, I don't know whether to tape that back on or just say never mind, the whole cover's falling apart. Okay, so when I was a kid, I loved reading The Sweet Valley Twins. I loved these when I was a girl. I don't even know why I bought this. I have no interest in rereading these. Like, they're very childish, you know, they're just very silly and childish. And besides, this is like book 37 in the series. I don't think I ever read this one. I don't think I ever got that far in the series when I was a kid. Oh boy, and there's a piece of the cover coming off. Oh no. I don't know why I picked this up. I was just picking up everything in sight and this was like familiar, and so I just grabbed it. Now what do I do with it? I don't know. What am I supposed to do with this? I really don't know. And then I also picked up these 3 books from Roswell High. I loved Roswell. I was all about Roswell when that show came out. But I've never read any of the books. I didn't even know there were books. How about that? And I don't know. Wait a minute. What? This is the same book twice. Oh my God. You guys, I bought 2 of the same book. That just shows you how insane this library book sale was and how much I was just like throwing stuff into my bag and not paying attention. Okay, so we have 2 of book 7 in the series, and I also have book 4. Well, that's just dandy. I don't know if I want to try to read these and just to see and just be like, oh, nostalgia, my old favorite show that I used to love, you know, it might be kind of fun. I don't know, a walk down memory lane or something. But I wonder if I should start from the beginning. Should I like try to look around and find books 1 through 3 so I can get up to book 4? I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. These might be kind of fun just for the nostalgia of it. All right, next we have some mysteries. Whoa, I'm dropping them here. So this is The Giant Rat of Sumatra, or Pirates Galore. This is by Newbery medalist Sid Fleshman. So I picked this up because The Giant Rat of Sumatra is a little throwaway line in a Sherlock Holmes story that is never explained. But in this one, now that I look at it, I'm not really seeing anything particularly about Sherlock Holmes. It's just The Giant Rat of Sumatra is the most notorious pirate ship in the Pacific. So it's stuff about pirates and everything. But when I picked it up, I thought, oh, maybe that's something Sherlock Holmes. But now I see that it's not. But it might still be fun. I mean, hey, I'm always up for a good pirate adventure, so that might be fun. Then we do have one that is actually Sherlock Holmes related. This is the Baker Street Mysteries, and I was very lucky that this is book 1 in the series, The Mystery of the Yellow Hands. It looks like Sherlock Holmes is in here, but it focuses more on the Baker Street Brigade, these street urchin children who work for Sherlock Holmes and kind of act as his spies and his lookouts. So this might be fun, kind of like more from a middle grade perspective, get to see a Sherlock Holmes mystery. Then we have The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. I just have no idea what this is about. I literally don't know. I saw the word spy and I was like, okay, sure, spy, aha. You know, I have no clue what this is, any of what this is about. But for some reason, this very austere cover grabbed my attention. And then I saw the back and I was like, ooh, this looks so old-fashioned and cool. This looks like, I don't know, it just looks like the 70s or something, doesn't it? So I was like, well, I just have to grab it and see what all this is about. If you've read this or any other books by this author, please do let me know. This might be pretty interesting. Then I grabbed a book that I know that I already own. It's Dorothy Sayers' Whose Body? However, I think the one that I own is paperback and this is hardback. So this is a bit of a nicer edition. I own all the books in the Lord Peter Wimsey series. It's one of my favorite mystery series. But I was like, a little bit of an edition upgrade for this one. Okay, those are the mysteries. What else we got? So this is kind of the books that didn't fit anywhere else. We have Climbing the Stairs. Vidya, something, I don't know how to say that, the main character, dreams of going to college. An unusual proposition for a girl living in British-occupied India during World War II. Interesting. I'm hoping to get some really interesting snapshot of Indian culture at the time, you know, and be able to kind of immerse myself in this beautiful, rich culture and learn some new things maybe through this story. That might be really interesting. Okay, then we have The Seeing Stone. I just picked this up because I was like, fantasy, grab it. So it's book 1 of the Arthur series, it looks like. So there's, you know, knights who are jousting there. So this looks like fun. Oh, so it is Arthur, yeah. Merlin gives Arthur a shining black stone, a seeing stone that shows him visions, shows him visions of his namesake, King Arthur. Okay, I don't know. There's 2 different Arthurs in here, apparently. So, yeah, interesting. Maybe is it like time travel-y or something? I'm not sure. That looks pretty cool, though. Then I do have a couple of Clive Custer books that I picked up. I promised myself that I wasn't going to buy any more Clive Custer until I read the Clive Custer that I already own. But they're only 25 cents and they're hardcover. So I was like, let's go ahead and grab them. I like Clive Custer because it's just a fun adventure, and I don't know, it's just kind of a nice fluff read where you can just kind of be swept along in the adventure, and it's not too emotional. I think sometimes I get too emotional about books, and Clive Custer is just pure adventure, and there's no emotion that makes me cry and gets me all upset and gives me a book hangover. So that's why I like Clive Custer. So we have Valhalla Rising, and then we have Treasure. So both of these are Dirk Pitt novels, I think. Is this one? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so really cool, very fun. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, I found a couple of Grace Livingston Hill books. I used to love Grace Livingston Hill when I was a teenager. But this one is Blue Ruin, and then this is 3 novels in one. It's Aunt Crete's Emancipation, The Girl from Montana, and The Story of a Whim. I have never heard of those before. Blue Ruin I've heard of before, but I've never read it. These are just very, very old-fashioned Christian romance. And some more Christian romance that I would read when I was a teenager was Lori Wick. And I don't think I've read any of these, though. I don't think I even own any of those old Lori Wick books that I had when I was a teenager. I don't even know that I'm really interested in reading these, to tell you the truth. I just don't read a lot of Christian romance anymore. It's just not as interesting to me as it was when I was a teenager, you know? But I just grabbed these because, like, I recognize this author, grab it, you know? Anyway, this is Beyond the Picket Fence and Other Short Stories. That might be fun, just some short stories. And just, you know, a little here and there to dive back into this genre, but I don't have to read a whole novel of it, maybe. And then we have A Texas Sky and City Girl. So this is books 2 and 3 in the Yellow Rose trilogy. Well, great, I don't have book 1. Okay, I don't know why. Why did I buy all these? Oh yeah, they were only 25 cents. Okay, well, it is what it is. Maybe I'll read these, maybe I won't. If I don't read these, then I'm only out 50 cents. So it's fine. And our last big pile is children's and middle grade. Of course it is, because I love children's and middle grade. You guys can't even see the whole pile. There you go. Okay, so we have In Aunt Lucy's Kitchen. Oh, adorable. Oh my goodness, this looks so cute. This is totally a cover by. It's from the Cobble Street Cousins series, and it is book 1. Some cute little illustrations inside. Lovely. I found 3 Mandy books. Years and years and years ago, I gave away the like 10 or 12 Mandy books that I had from my childhood. I gave those away to a little girl who needed reading material, and I was like, oh honey, you can have these. And I gave them away, and now I kind of regret that. I mean, I don't really regret it because that little girl enjoyed them, and it was good to pass on those books to someone who would really enjoy them. But now I'm kind of like, man, my Mandy books from when I was a girl. So now I feel like I want to start collecting them again. And these are the same editions that I had when I was a kid. Just so many good memories associated with this series. Then we have 2 books in the Lady Grace Mysteries series. This one is gold, and this one just says haunted. Don't these look neat though? These are just a total cover buy. These just look really fun. Then we have the Lemonade War. I have heard of the Lemonade War before. You can tell it was somebody's classroom, you know. It was in somebody's classroom library. I have heard of this before, but I've never read it, so it might be interesting to dive into this one from Scholastic. This is Be Ever Hopeful, Hannah-Lee. The war is over and the struggle continues for Hannah-Lee and her family. She gets a job in Atlanta and things begin to look hopeful again. I wonder which war are we talking about here? Are we talking about the American Civil War? Like, what's going on here? It begins 1864 with the cavalry troops of the Union Army attacking northern Georgia. Okay, yes, so right after the American Civil War. That should be interesting. I should have put that with the children's classics. Let's put it over here. Okay. All right, then Bruce Coville is one of my favorite authors. He just writes such funny, hilarious stories. And this one looks ridiculous. The Diary of a Mad Brownie. He does look mad, doesn't he? It has like a little chart of all the things you need to know about this brownie. Very fun. This is another one where I already own this book, but I'm pretty sure the edition I own is a paperback. Yeah, so this is hardcover, and this is one of my favorite middle grade books. Really, really cool series. Yeah, so kind of nice to actually own it in a hardcover. Aha. Then we have a couple of books by Eleanor Estes. We have The Middle Moffat and Rufus M. So I think I've read, did I read Ginger Pie or Pinkie Pie? I don't remember, but I've read something by this author and just loved it and thought it was hilarious and fun. So now it's so nice to read something else from this author. And I picked up Mystery Stories from Around the World. Okay, this pile is getting kind of large. Let's move some things over. Okay, Mystery Stories from, what am I saying? Missionary Stories from Around the World. Of course, I grew up as a missionary, so I've heard a lot of missionary stories. It says here we've got Nate Saint, Jim Eliot, Amy Carmichael, Gladys Aylward, Hudson Taylor. Hudson Taylor is my dad's favorite missionary. I think Amy Carmichael is probably my favorite missionary. We got Charles Spurgeon, David Livingston, David Brainerd. Ooh, you know what? I changed my mind. David Brainerd is my favorite. Although his story is really depressing. A lot of missionary stories can be really depressing, actually. But this is fantastic. It's got some illustrations in there for children, and, you know, I'm assuming that things are kind of condensed and stuff for children. I want to share this with my nieces because I really want them to understand why we as a family went to Mexico as missionaries when their father and I, you know, were all just kids and everything, you know. So yeah, really interesting. I want my nieces to kind of understand that part of their heritage and how much it means to us and everything. So yeah, I'm so glad I found this. Then we have a whole big series by Bruce Coville. Okay. So the first one is The Dragon of Doom. Then we have The Weeping Werewolf. Oh, goodness. The Evil Elves. Aha. And it looks like they're on some kind of weird flying contraption. I don't know what's going on there. The Mischief Monster. Oh, no. That looks exciting. And then The Naughty Nork. I don't know what a Nork is, but I guess I will find out when I read the series. Yeah, so I was very excited to find that whole series, or at least the first 5 books. These look really cool. It has like a nice little border around and some illustrations and stuff. These look so awesome. Okay, that's all the books. That is did I say 52? Was it 52? I think it was. Those are the 52 books that I bought at the library book sale. Some of them treasures to keep forever, and others of them like, why did I buy that? I don't even know. So leave me a comment down below and let me know. Have you ever been to a library book sale or a used book sale and you're like, it's only 25 cents, just grab everything. And then you got it home and you were kind of like, what did I buy? Or tell me, what is a book that you found at a book sale or, you know, at a used book where it was just like, oh, it's like you found gold. It's like you just found treasure and you're so excited to bring it home and read it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.